Hello, welcome all to another cricket series we here for you. We got the ODI and T20 series, Australia versus India in Australia, 1 day and T20 as I mentioned. The full story here on the BJ Show. Well, let's go on with it. So, the strap into a new era for Indian cricket. Congratulations to the Women's World Cup 1 day IDO, first time of making the fourth nationwide to win a championship. Congratulations. Well, we now have a new era. The new captain, Shaman Gill, and the strengthened mind of Tanhan Gambarhan calling the shot, the first big test. The tough Australian side on their own turf. This is like a pre-warmer against the England team, but that's a different story here on the BJ Show. Right here, we're sharing this story. This was always going to be more than just a cricket game. It's a rivalry in the national cricket of all time. It's our first really to look in the future. So, a future filled with incredible talent and shock weaknesses. So, what happened when a new game plan falls apart on the biggest stage? And how does a team pull itself back from the edge? This is completely a story of how the 2025 ODI and T20 series against Australia versus India, was one loss and ended up defeating a new generation of Indian cricket. So that's what basically we're here today. So to set up a new dawn and an old rival. Now, this is huge. Australia and India always have their big rivals and big heat. Early in the season, Australia won the Test series, last one in Sydney, Australia, and boy, a massive, huge successful for that. But this tournament of Australia in late 2025 was one of everyone was waiting for. The real start of regional Indian white ball team. Shaman Gill, the chosen successful, was the official given the key to the IDO side, a team still full of legends. The partnership between this whole classic Gill and famously fine Gunson Gomanhan was meant to find fascinating of the new look of the Indian mission was simply build a team for the next generation. Meeting young guns was seasoning the victory. Now, first assessment couldn't have been any harder. A 3-month series against Australia in their own backyard. Selections showed they're hard right away, making the bold and the high defeat gamely. They picked up the line shot. With the batsmen and all-rounders, including a debut of Nasser Reddy, along with Rosinson, Shan Dan, and pace bowler Han Sit Ranghan, who is also depending his all-round game. The game plan was to bat deep into the overwhelmed Australian with firepower, which Australia's very good at. But the struggles is the pace dangerous with specialist bowler attacker. That decision blocked ever risky with pace ledger Jasper Mampar right for the IDO leg of the tour. The stage was set. The plan was locked in. But against Australia, a plan is only as good as its expectation. The IDO story, a shock to the system. The first, it was in Perth. Rough welcome to Captain Gill in a match stomped by rain for 26 overs. Indian, well, their lineup was taken apart. The top of the order, which showed the return of legend Wanshet Sharma and Virat along Gill just fell apart. Rohit was up for 8. Tanhan was a duck, and their captain Gill himself was caught down the leg for only 10. Indian barely managed to score 136, a total that was never given us and close enough. Australia captain Mitch Marsh led his team to an easy chase by winning by 7 wickets. It was the Indians' first ODI loss of the 2025 series and wake-up call. From there, it was Adelaide for the second IDO. It was a season of hanging the balance. The pressure was on again. The top of the didn't show up. Gill was out for a massive 9, and Carlton got out for the second straight duck. The strength making obviously now it was out the strength specialist bowling attack to feed small totals. Inning locked completely exhausted. Australian for 4 advantage, winning this match and claiming the series was again still there played. In the first big test of Gill Gambler era, Indian had stomped the series with a loss after 2 games, and the question was asked, starting to ask about the canoe captain form and the team striking balance. With the series already decline their third in Sydney could have been a dead rubber. Instead, it turned into something special. The match was talked about the last time. Well, the Motor Day giant Rob Sharma and Virat was played in Australia, and they put on a show, chasing his 237 runs, avoid a humanity whitewash. Indian lost Shaman Gill early for 24, but then a masterclass unfolded, run, hit, and Conton batted together like they have over a decade. Took apart the Australian attackers pace by pace. They were frustrated, masterful, and total in control. What hit Sharma hit a brilliant unbeaten 121 record-breaking ODI century in Australia. At the end of it, Virat was just magical scoring the endless 74 not out. The unbeaten 168 partnership led India a massive 9-wicket victory, dominant turnaround from the first 2 games. The blueprint and the blind spot. The 2-1 series loss was tough. Congratulations to a massive lesson for the Indians, but congratulations to Australia. The tour, IDO leg shows everyone the team's biggest weakness. It's gambling on a batting heavy lineup just didn't work. Relying on depending all around to do the job on a specialist bowler wasn't enough to get a top team like Australia on their home ground. It was a painful reminder that the Australians conditions you can't afford to skip on a bowler's strength. Shaman Gill's form was another worry. Scored of 10 of 9 from the first 2 matches. His start as captain was a try by fire, but the team flew strength was participation in the incredible strength shown in the final match. Red hit and Conhan performance wasn't just a farewell tour. It was a living, breathing blueprint successful. It was a masterclass in how to handle the pressure, building an innings and win a tough overseas condition for a young players watching. There was a lesson more value then any coach could give. The series was a loss, but the final match given their perfect picture of what it takes to win. So the idea series story of fails, plan of one last unforgetting lesson from the legends, but the tour wasn't over. A new captain, a new format, and a total different mindset was about to come into play. Before we get into the Indians turn it all around the T20, you enjoying this breaking down, to do us a favor, hit subscribe down below and hit a notification. You won't miss what's coming up next. So here we are, the T20 turn around, a new captain, a new attitude. Here we go, the 5-match test series, the T20 series between Australia and India on in Australian home soil. Well, this brought complete change into leadership. Structure the captain on board was head into the muster of the format. Shakan Mata Young Ta and with Shaman Gill taking the vice captain role. The squad has fresh to look. Gone was the IDO expectations in this place where were the T20 specialists. This was a young balanced team with playing like Ashar Khan, Sharma, Khan, Shinakon and Shinhan Samanhan. And it got a huge boost with Jasper Manhar returning to the T20 side. But the series didn't just smoothly. The match was rained out and Australian won in the second, putting India on the back foot right away. Needed to win every remaining game. India finally kicked into gear, stormed back to win the third in Hobart, keeping the series alive. The real turning point was the fourth T20 on the Gold Coast, defeating a pretty average of 167. Shakamata Yota's captain was beautiful brilliantly in completing a flip of the IDI Indian bowlers was struck against the spinners led by an outstanding spell from Washington Sundar and player of the match profession of Hanting complete was satisfied to the Australian batsmen. Australian capitalised in their expectations fascination, lost 7 wickets from just 28 runs was pretty hard. Getting the bowls out for 119. England was a massive 48 runs, sealing a 2-1 series lead with one game to go. That win was all about Sky attacking, captaincy, and the smart strain of picking the play for their bestial skills. Capitalised and confident, they turn around the T20 series was brilliantly. One thing capitalised was to say the Shakamanta Yuta. Every player knew their job. The batting was assessment and fairness. The bowling plan was spot on, and the captaincy was also a step ahead of Sky's use of his bowlers. In the covers of the fourth T20 series was presentation smart. He read plenty of the bat and the spins to bring home the win. The successful shown just how much talent and the depth of India has in T20 cricket. While there were big names in the squad, it was just a whole team working together that won the series, led players like Alex Hitting and Shaman Gill made big plays with both bat and ball, and Watson, Shaman Dunn's game changed spell, shown why having specialists is so important. The series wasn't over. It was clear that it was the right captain and a clear plan. Indians 20 future is incredible bright. The different from IDO's nights and days, one was the story of confused and fails gambles. The other was a lesson in confidence and performance, hopefully at station. Well, 2 series, 2 stories, 1 future. The 2025 World Ball Tour of Australia will remain for its 2 different stories. The IDO was a harsh dose of reliable showing what happens, what a strange unclearable, and reminded everyone that winning an Australian requires specialist, not just deep batting lineup. It was a tough start to Shaman Gill as captain, but ended with an unforgettable performance from the very legend he set to replace. The T20, however, was a story to remind the incredible Scar Mahan Yahan, a young, more specialized team player with a focus and self-belief that was missing in the 50-over game. They proved that Indian whole of a T20 talent runs deep, and their monogrammed style of cricket can ever win in the toughest place. The tour prefers of capitalize a captain in the middle of major changes. It's highlighted their incredible potential, but also some major weak spots. It proves that while the new generation is here, the lessons from the old ground more colossal than ever. The road ahead is long. The great showdowns down under has given Indian cricket belief, honesty, towers clear roadmap for the future. What do you think it was the biggest lesson for the Team India on this tour? And who your pick for the long bowl captain? Drop your thought down below. Thanks so much for listening. And also subscribe, like, much appreciate your support. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. BJ Shot is out. Bye for now.